I'm Negreanu. I am LV127. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, moved to Vegas about 20 years ago to become a professional poker player and reach the top of my craft, and I was able to do that and have a lot of success in my career, and that only grew after attending the course at ChoiceCenter. So I would say the number one result, if you look at it from a tangible perspective in terms of my career. Before I went to the course, I'd already been number one in the world in about 2004. By the time I did the course, which was about 4 years ago, I'd slipped. I was still among the best players in the world, but I wasn't in any realistic, distance of being first. And part of one of the goals that I set during leadership was to reach the top 15 in the global poker rankings. And my coach said, no, we don't do top 15 here. We're going to set your goals high. So he said, let's shoot for number one. And that kind of scared me a little bit. So because it scared me, I knew this was a juicy goal worth, trying to achieve. And within 3 months of completing the course, I did reach the goal. I made 3 consecutive final tables. That year I won $3.5 million in tournaments. The next year I won another $10, $11 million. And I've been consistently doing well ever since. I'd say the greatest gift I received was a better understanding of the impact I can have on the world. And specifically, during leadership, we do a legacy project, which is designed to raise money for worthy causes, whether here in Las Vegas or across the world. And for me, St. Jude's was my legacy project, and we were tasked with raising $100,000 in 7 days. And within 7 days, we raised $286,000. And since then, over the last 3 years, I've held a celebrity poker tournament to raise close to $500,000 each year for the kids there. And what I got from that was, love is what I always wanted. I wasn't comfortable enough saying that. I wasn't comfortable being vulnerable and admitting that. But what I ultimately realized, the gift I was given, was I can experience love every time I give it. So when you're at a poker table, your true colors come out. If you're a bad loser, that's going to shine through. If you're a bad winner, that's also going to shine through. And for me, I believe that the most important attribute of being a successful poker player is self-awareness. And EQ, which is basically emotional intelligence, is exactly what ChoiceCenter teaches. And what that really means is being self-aware of how you show up to other people, how to engage with people, how you're perceived. And with poker, that's super important. So for example, a simple example, if I know people think I bluff a lot, right? I have to first know that to know how to adjust to it. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm not going to bluff those people. Or if I'm dealing with people who think, yeah, this guy never bluffs. Okay, I know I've got a target to bluff, but first and foremost, I have to be aware of how I'm perceived. So I would say self-awareness is a tool that I learned at ChoiceCenter, even more so than I already had a grasp of it, to the point where it's made me a better poker player. Each team in leadership is tasked with a legacy project, is what we call it. And for ours, for example, with St. Jude, we were tasked with raising $100,000 in 7 days, the entire team as a whole, and we totally crushed that. We raised $286,000 in a week. But each team is going to be tasked with raising money for a different charity. And there's so much learning in that because, let's say, for example, you want to start a business. You want to be a business owner. Well, part of what you're going to need to do is enroll people in your vision for what you think is going to work for help. You can't do it by yourself. You're going to need employees. You might need some financial backing. And if you can't reach out and ask for help for sick children or for homeless people or for animals who are in need of, help, if you can't do that, how do you think you're ever going to ask for things for yourself? So it's a really good stretch for a lot of people that are uncomfortable with asking for help. So I come from a very logical, practical background. I'm a poker player. We analyze things. We try to figure out the value of something and whether or not it's worth doing. And with ChoiceCenter, that's ultimately how I looked at it. I thought to myself, okay, what's my worst case scenario? I do this, I get nothing out of it. I'm still doing pretty good, right? Now, what's my best case scenario? I don't really even know, but maybe I'm on a faster track to getting the six-pack that I always wanted. Whatever it is in my life that I didn't even see as a possibility could open up to me. And ultimately, I thought to myself, well, if this can improve my life 2 to 5%, it's well worth it. It improved my life far more than it did 2 to 5%. It was astronomical. But specifically what I would say to friends and family is that whatever dreams that you've decided that you can achieve, that you really want, whatever vision you have for your life 5, 10 years down the road, if you haven't reached it yet and you've taken a path that hasn't worked to get you there, what makes you think that continuing on that same path is going to get you there? So I would just challenge people to try something different, because if we repeat the patterns of our past, our future is predetermined. So what it requires is taking a risk. And I would just ask them to trust, take a risk, and go for it.